I wasn't enough. And she didn't say it, she showed me a story about loving someone who slowly stopped loving you back. You don't notice the moment love starts to die. It's not some loud explosion or dramatic betrayal like in the movies. It's quieter than that. It slips away in the little things, missed glances, silence where there used to be laughter, and goodbyes that sound like "I'm just tired." Her name was Emily. And for a long time, I believed she was the love of my life. We met in college, at one of those campus events no one actually wants to attend but feels obligated to. She was sitting cross-legged on a folding chair, sipping cheap coffee and reading a paperback copy of Norwegian Wood by Murakami. I sat across from her, awkward and too aware of the coffee stain on my sleeve. "Isn't that book kind of depressing?" I asked. She looked up, smiled slightly, and replied, "Yeah, that's why it feels real." It wasn't love at first sight, but it was connection, instant and strange, like remembering a face from a dream. Within 2 weeks, we were walking to classes together. Within 2 months, we were spending weekends at each other's places. Within half a year, we were talking about the future like it was already ours. We built a world after graduation. We moved in together into a small 1-bedroom apartment on the edge of the city. It wasn't much, but it was enough. We filled it with books, second-hand furniture, photos stuck to the fridge with magnets. We cooked together. We argued about how to fold laundry. We danced in the kitchen at midnight when neither of us could sleep. I got a job in software development. Long hours, but decent pay. Emily worked part-time at a local bookstore and wrote poetry no one ever read. She once told me, "Writing is the only way I know how to keep from falling apart." I never thought she was falling apart. She smiled too often, touched my face in the morning, kissed my shoulder when she thought I was asleep, but maybe that's the thing about people, you never really know what's happening inside them until it spills out into silence. The first distance changes were so small at first, I convinced myself they weren't real. She stopped making coffee in the mornings. She started sleeping on the far side of the bed. When I talk about work, she'd nod but not really listen. I'd come home and find her scrolling on her phone, barely looking up. "Long day?" I'd ask. "Yeah." "Tired?" She'd say, "No kiss." No follow-up. "Just tired." I brought it up one night tentatively, afraid of sounding paranoid. "Is something wrong between us?" She shook her head and said, "No, I'm just not in a good place. It's not you." And I believed her, because I wanted to. Because it's easier to think someone's struggling than to think they're falling out of love. The nights she didn't come home early, girls' nights. That's what she called them. At first, it was once a week, then twice. Then it felt like she was barely home at all. She'd come back smelling like someone else's cologne and cheap vodka. Sometimes she wouldn't answer her phone for hours. I asked once, "Are you seeing someone?" She laughed. Not warmly, not lovingly, just laughed. "Seriously? You think I'd cheat on you?" And again, I wanted to believe her. I remembered all the nights she'd held my hand when I had panic attacks. The mornings she'd read her poetry out loud while I cooked pancakes. The little voice notes she used to leave me when I was working late. That girl wouldn't hurt me, right? The moment I knew it was raining the day it finally shattered, I got off work early. Thought I'd surprise her with takeout from her favorite Thai place. I walked in the front door and froze. Her phone was lying on the counter, screen still lit up. One message from a contact saved as "Jay, can't stop thinking about last night. Your skin, you'll laugh you." I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. My legs gave out. I sat on the couch, phone still in my hand. When she walked through the door 10 minutes later, umbrella in hand and mascara slightly smeared, she looked startled. "You're home early." I didn't yell, didn't throw the phone, didn't cry. I just held it up. Quietly, she stared at it, then at me. And she didn't say, "It's not what you think." Didn't say, "I can explain." She just sighed, sat down, and whispered, "I didn't mean for this to happen." The goodbye that wasn't Sadie packed that night. Not everything, just what I needed. Laptop, clothes, toothbrush, dignity. She watched me from the doorway. "I'm sorry," she said. "You didn't deserve this." I didn't respond, because honestly, I didn't know what to say. What do you say when someone shatters you with the same mouth that once promised you forever? I stayed with a friend for a while. Nights blurred into one another. I stopped checking the time, stopped replying to texts. I just existed, and even that was hard. Grief in peace, solacing someone who's still alive is a strange kind of grief. You don't get a funeral. No one sends flowers. There's no closure, no final goodbye, you just carry it. Everywhere.it hits when you hear their favorite song in a grocery store, or find one of their bobby pins in your suitcase, or dream about them and wake up thinking everything's okay until it isn't. People said time heals, but they never said how long. Trying to move on, I tried dating again. Not to replace her, just to feel something again, but every time someone reached for my hand, I'd feel the ghost of hers. Every time someone said, "You're different," I'd remember how Emily once said that too right before she stopped meaning it. One girl, Ally, was sweet, kind, patient. She asked me one night, "Are you over her?" I wanted to say yes, but instead, I just looked away. The last time I saw her almost a year later, I was at a bookstore downtown, the same one she used to work in. I didn't go there intentionally. I guess some part of me just missed the smell of old paper and quiet corners. She walked in with him. Jay, they were laughing, holding hands. She looked happy. I didn't walk up, didn't say hi, didn't run. I just watched for a moment, then turned around and left. In the parking lot, I sat in my car for 20 minutes, not crying, not angry, just empty. Forgiveness without a reply. A few weeks later, she messaged me. "I think about you sometimes. I hope you're okay. I hope you find someone who sees all the good in you." I didn't reply, because some things don't need answers. Some chapters end in silence, not punctuation. What I know now, I don't hate her. Not anymore. She taught me how to love. And she taught me what it feels like to be left behind. That kind of pain doesn't leave scars, it leaves a shape, an outline of who you used to be and who you had to become. If I ever see her again, I'll smile. Not because I'm okay, but because I've learned how to be. I still believe in love, but now I know it's not just about butterflies or promises. It's about staying, fighting, choosing someone even on the days when they don't feel easy to love. So if you're reading this and you've been left, let me tell you something I wish someone told me. It wasn't your fault. You were enough. They just stopped choosing you. And that's not on you, that's on them. And you'll love again, but next time, it'll be you who gets chosen back.